Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Real Chads are rare. And this is going to be kind of a two-parter. But the first part is, come on now. Because and when I say Chads, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know some guys up here being like, Chad, and they'll throw Tyrone in there. Tyrone's actually more real, though. But I'll get into that, too. But Chads, that tall, lean, 12%, less than 12% body fat, model looking, white guy. Those are rare. Come on now. Let's just be real. How often do y'all see that? And notice I said white guy. And this ain't just playing the race card, but let's just be real with it. They be talking about some white guys. Some Chads. How often do y'all see that? How often do y'all see that? Got all that going. Now, I ain't talking about just a handsome guy. Just a handsome guy, or a guy you consider handsome, but some guy who is so handsome, so tall, so handsome, so muscularly built that he's getting all these women. How often do y'all see that? Seriously. But a lot of guys are caught up into that. And to me, it's stupid. To me, it's stupid. Now, if you're just talking about like maybe Tyrone's, maybe you might see more muscular black men like that. Often you're gonna see some tall guy who's got all that going for him. Yeah, sometimes they be smiling at you and shit. You gotta smile back. Anyway, right? Yeah. Anyway, often do y'all really see that? They rare. I ain't saying they don't exist, but they 1% of 1% of 1%. Because even when some guys be doing some of these PSL videos, have y'all noticed they be having the same men on there? The same 3 men on there? It's like it ain't 3. The same 6 men on there? It be the same men and stuff. Be some models, some male supermodels. Be the same guys. Be guys talking about Jeremy Meeks all the time. Sure. And I'm like, is that it? Because if you think about it, what we got? We got 4 billion men in the world. And you got some guys, they don't look like they should be modeling, getting women like crazy. I thought about this one guy. Big old fat dude. I mean, he was fat. But the one thing he said he was good at was getting women. And that's what he was. He was good at getting women. That dude had some game. That was a white dude with some game. But he ain't look like no damn Chad. And look, I ain't being racist or anything like that, but let's just be real. When dudes talking about that, they talking about some white guy or something. But how often do you see that? Seriously. I'm in a predominantly white area. I don't see that. I've been a member of 3 different gyms in this area. Really 4 different gyms. And shoot, they talking about building a new gym. I might check that out. I don't be seeing no guys like that. Be just seeing some regular guys out here. Now, as a man, you could tell what somebody might be considered a Chad, because you can look at somebody and say, okay, yeah, they could probably model or something. And definitely if they 6'2", because even that height thing. You know what was funny? Let me go on a tangent a bit about that height. Somebody just came new on the channel and said, hey, can you talk about height? Delete. I'm like, dude, all the times I've talked about height. But even if you talk about that, you throw that height thing in there, right? How many dudes y'all gonna see 6'2", handsome, muscular, got that muscular body, and got women going crazy? I'm thinking hard. I think I can think of one guy who might have looked like that, who was like carrying around a baby. And he looked like a model type. He looked different from everybody else. One. If the fact that I can count that means they not that common. But yet you got some guys, they saying, well, I can't get a woman. I don't look like Chad. 99.9% of the male population on the planet don't look like that motherfucker. Shit. Let's just be real with it. 99.9%. Yet if you really paying attention, you got some guys out here don't look shit like that. Even as much as I talk body game, like I said, I knew that overweight white guy who was getting some play. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the main thing. Those guys are rare. Stop worrying about it. Why you worried about that man? It's kind of like in connection with my sit-down video today. Don't put another man ahead of you. See, even when I talk about select and non-select, yeah, there's going to be some men who are going to get more play than others. That's just going to happen for whatever reason. And there's a lot of stuff to it. It ain't even just looks. In fact, I'm going to do an on-demand video next week. I'm going to tell y'all some other stuff women be looking at. And it ain't just looks. Just as I always say, any man who says it's just looks, they don't really know women. But you don't see that often. And you get some guys out here, players, got multiple women. They got, even on IG, I follow this one page. I forgot what it's called exactly. Yeah, I forgot what it's called. But it's in fact, I forgot what it's called, but I'll put a link to it in the description box. I'll find it and put a link to it in the description box. Because what it is men with multiple women. Men with multiple women. And all these motherfuckers don't look like no damn Chad. And here's my point with it all. You can't worry about it. If you worried about some dude who's it's damn near genetic mutation, some dude even looking like that. If you worried about that, you're just pitiful. I'm just gonna say it, you're just pitiful. Because what you had to do out here is figure out who you are, present your best, and then deal with the women who find that attractive. And that's whether you select or non-select, because you could be generally non-select to a bunch of women, but select to that one woman. And yeah, it's great to have all those options. Yeah, you want that. But then sometimes you might be, like, out of 100 women, 97 of them might can say you non-select, they ain't interested. But then you know the women who want you, the women who down for you, they really down for you. They really find you attractive. And that's what every man should do. In fact, when we talk about that select, non-select thing, every man should just worry about the women he select to. That's who he should worry about. Because every man, and I said this in my book, Nice Guys and Players, every man is a Mr. Goodbar to somebody. He just need to figure out who. Now, he might not be Mr. Goodbar to 70 out of 100 women. He don't need to be, because that's some problems right there. He need to be select only to a few. Quality is always better than quantity any motherfucking way. But that's a whole other conversation. I always get a video in. Y'all know I always say that's a whole other video, that's a whole other conversation. There's always something. That's one thing. Talking about relationships is kind of like the balloon pop show, the gift they keep on giving. And I ain't actually watched that yesterday. I was busy doing some other stuff. Doing some stuff around my house. But I'll check it out today. But anyway, instead of worrying about a rare Chad, instead of competing with them, instead of worrying that you're not 6'2" or you don't have that model face, do what I always say do. Fix yourself up to the best. Hit the gym, develop your best body, develop the best haircut that fits you, develop your signature style, and then see which women like it. Instead of worrying about that other man, that man don't matter. You don't get that man's dick. Don't worry about that man's, who that man getting with or which women checking him out. And I'm going to tell you something with women. Just the nature of them, they can still check him out and still suck your dick. That's just a woman's nature. That's just a woman's nature. They can check out multiple men, check them out, whatever, and still get with you. You don't worry about it. All you worry about is what you can do, how you can fix yourself up. Like, I'm always talking about body game. You can hit the gym. You can hit the gym, fix yourself up. You can have a barber bless you. Whatever hairstyle you want. You can always buy different clothes. Shoot, you don't even have to buy expensive clothes. You can hit some Goodwill places. Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace, he had mentioned that one time. He had said that. You can go to some Goodwill and get some clothes. Shoot, you can get yourself sharp. And make sure your shoes are right. You remember what I always say about shoes. But you can do all that shit. All that shit's easy. A man got control over that. But see, if you get a man who worried about some dude who's 1% of 1% of 1% of 1%, he's going to have issues. He is going to have major issues because he's competing with some guy. He don't even know that particular guy likes women. See, that's something else too. That's something else too. So, I mean, you don't know anything about that guy. And shoot, that guy might not be trying to deal with 100 women. He might not be trying to deal with that. He trying to just deal, he might be monogamous. He might be whatever. You don't worry about it. Only thing a man should worry about is himself. That's it. That's it. He shouldn't worry about everybody else. He shouldn't worry about that other man. And if that other man getting his, okay, good. Let him get his. It might not be the same woman that you want. He might be getting some type of woman that you don't want. Because remember what I always say. Just like I say, different women like different men. Different men like different women. Like he might want some slim woman, some skinny woman or something. Okay. But then you got some guys out there, they want that woman with that big fat old butt. That woman who can hit that song, use a big fine woman, won't you back that thing up? All you have to do is, like I always say, and I've said this in several videos, I'm going to say this, you worry about fixing yourself up. And even when you talk about other shit, like you got a lot of dudes talking about height. That's something else I've looked forward to. Because, shoot, I'm getting older. I ain't quite 5'11" like I used to be. More like 5'10" and a half. I'm getting older. Shoot, you get older, you shrink a bit. You know what? Still taller than most motherfuckers around me. So, when I'm looking at somebody, I'm looking at them to be taller. Does it matter? Like in the gym a few days ago, saw this tall young lady. She had to be about 5'9", 5'10". I say about 5'9". And she was there with a man I presume to be her boyfriend. They actually stood next to each other at height. He might have been an inch taller than her. But let's just say the vibe was they were together, they were happy. She wasn't like, oh, you gotta be 6'2". She was, her body language, their body language with each other suggested they were happy with each other. Even though he was only maybe an inch taller than her. You can't even worry about that. Yeah, some women be online saying, well, you gotta be 6'2", you gotta be 6'3". Whatever, they online. See, it's something to consider. The majority of women ain't online. The majority of women just doing their thing out here. Shoot, across the street from my house, I see this young woman who's pregnant, but she got 2 young kids, and I'm presuming, I don't know them, presumably baby daddy or father, husband, I don't know what he is to. I haven't been close enough to her to see if she got a ring on her finger. Shoot, it's about her height. Now, she ain't that tall. She got to be about good 5'4", 5'5", maybe. That dude's about a good 5'4", 5'5". And they got a third baby coming out. And even if the first two ain't really his, he got a first baby coming out. Whatever the case, she's still dealing with him. You can't worry about that. Every single man, and I'm gonna preach this. That's one thing this channel is about. And let me just be clear. It ain't about giving hope or cope or whatever. It's about telling the truth out here. When you out here, when you dealing with people, women going to want different things. All you have to do is be the best version of yourself, because you don't know what that particular woman wants. In fact, when I was talking about something the other day, somebody had mentioned something about the imprint. I ain't bring up the imprint about like women wanting like different body types. And you know what? That's cool. No, you ain't. Truck turning right here. But this dude had brought up the whole imprint thing, and like I said, the imprint is only the top. The first is a combination of the first 3 men that a woman will get with. And he had brought up the imprint, and I said, I do know this woman who married this big fat old guy, but then she's one of the earliest women who confirmed the whole imprint thing with me. And her first 3 men were all big men. That's what she wanted. With women, they go for whoever. And you don't know. In fact, you won't know until you say whatever. And even with the imprint, if you got something going on, a woman will still get with you, because all the imprint means is she has a natural attraction to somebody. But then a woman's imprint ain't always good. You still holler, you got some stuff going on. And especially when I do this on-demand video next week, I'll tell you some other stuff you have that really goes beyond looks or money or status or anything like that women are checking out with a man. But we'll get to that next week. We'll get to that next week. I gotta get some money out of y'all. But you don't worry about it. Like a Chad, like I said, Chads are rare. I ain't saying they don't exist, but men who just so handsome and built a certain way, certain height, all that stuff, certain race, they rare. Come on, man. But you got some men who don't look shit like them on any level. Definitely not the same race. Getting women. Got multiple women. Like I said, I'll put that link to that page on IG where the men got multiple women. Tell me which one is a Chad. Seriously. They got multiple women sharing a man. And I've seen some other shit too. I've seen plenty of men. I've actually known some men, they sharing multiple women. And the women sharing them, they don't care. Cousin T he'll talk about that whole thing with polytriad. I'm one man, 2 women. But that's the thing. But see, you don't worry about all that stuff. Only looks you should worry about is your own. Don't worry about the next man. You're not competing with the next man. You don't even know that next man. And even if you know one, okay, so what? They getting theirs. Okay, fine. They getting theirs. What you gonna do to get yours? You try and get your dick wet. You trying to have the woman that's going to be in cooperation with your operation. Because I'm going to tell you what, man. From a personal perspective, I've known plenty of players. And I ain't going to lie, there was only just one. I wasn't feeling a woman trying to get with him. That's because I was trying to get with her. That's the only reason. I was cool with him otherwise. Super cool with him otherwise. He didn't like it. I was a little friendly with his sister, though. But his sister was a professional football cheerleader. So, and that's the story. But me and him were like cool otherwise. But my point is, I've known plenty of players and different looks, different... the only thing they had in common, generally a good body build, but all of them, only a few of them were cut. All of them didn't have the same facial features. And like I said, most of them had a good body build. Good body build. Looked like they were in the gym, looked like they were athletic. Most of them. And they were just doing their thing. But whatever the case, I wasn't worried about it. I was like, oh, okay. With the exception of one, I was just like, oh, okay, you getting that? Okay. Well, let me get this one over here. Let me get this one. Because think about it, like I always say, all women don't like the same man. See, that's a mistake a lot of guys make too, and I've talked about that several times. You got some guys out here think women all just want the same man. If that was the case, it wouldn't be different. It wouldn't be different types of people out here. If that was the case, it wouldn't be 8 billion people. If that was the case, only one type of man would be mating. But there's not enough of them to go around. And even if and here's how deep that is. Even if you present a woman with a Chad, she still might not want him for whatever reason. See, that's something else too. Women want different shit. You might have some woman look at him say, nah, I don't want him. You know? They might not like his race. They might not like his body build. They might say, well, he needs some cheeseburgers. They might not like something about him. Shoot, you got women out here, they'll say a guy is too pretty. They don't want to mess with him. Whatever the case, it's different shit. All a man has to do is worry about himself and get his own shit together. He needs to worry about getting his best body, getting his boiling point, letting the barber bless him with the best haircut. Still, you know, he still want to get his face together and stuff, get his signature style, deal with any issues he has talking with women. And like I say, there's some other stuff, but I'll hit y'all with that next week. Y'all got to pay for that next week. There's some other stuff that women are checking out. And that's the main thing. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about some dude. But you know what? Sometimes some dudes want to do that because they don't want to fix themselves up. They want to use that as an excuse. Like, oh, yeah, all these women are going for Chad. They don't want to just say, hey, women ain't going for them. They ain't doing what they need to do. Because, shoot, like I said, there's an abundance of women. In fact, there was a guy who commented on a video I did with Miss Mocha Angel. Talking about she had a problem, talking about an abundance. No, he had a problem. He had a problem. Because like I always say, there's a ton of women around. There's a ton of women. Shoot, when I started this video, a woman was walking past my car smiling. I had to say something. I ain't never seen her before. Shoot. When I was in the gym, there was a young girl kept looking at me. I got all this gray and shit. So, what's up? And I ain't working out like I used to. I ain't working out like I used to or doing the things. So anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. I don't give a fuck what your height is, what your facial features are, whatever. You can work on yourself. Don't worry about some child. Yeah, whatever. Because you never know. Like I said, you never know with that particular woman. And you can't hold that. That's not getting you. Look, you trying to get something. You trying to get that woman. Oh, and if you one of those guys, every now and then I get some guy talking about, oh, leave women alone. Stay the fuck off the channel. That's what this channel is about, getting women. Now, if you don't want to get women, you don't want to deal with women, stay the fuck off the channel. Don't even waste time. Don't even add to my algorithm by even commenting. Stay the fuck off the channel. Because a heterosexual man, like I said, a heterosexual man don't have a problem with getting a woman, okay? I'm going to leave it at that. So, anyway. Gotta go in here, get some stuff from the style. Not store, style. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for. Let me see. Back this thing up. Back it up. Yeah. Wait a minute. Turn this joint off. Get in here and get my stuff. Yeah, I see you. Anyway, I'm gonna get in here and do my thing. All right, y'all, but I want y'all to think about that. Man, fuck Chad. Fuck Chad, fuck all these others. You worried about yourself. You the only man you should be worried about and getting your cut. And trust me, every man, I don't care what he look like, what he built like, what racial group he is, there's some woman checking his ass out. If some 60-year-old man could have some young girl checking him out in the gym, I don't see what your excuse is. Oh, and let me say one more thing about that. Even with that, because there was a dude who was comparing me with another content creator. I ain't going to call the content creator's name, but the content creator ain't even 30 yet. Comparing me, a 60-year-old man, with a content creator who ain't even 30 yet. If comparing is like comparing Larry Bird to Cooper Flagg, like Larry Bird as he is now to Cooper Flagg, or Michael Jordan to a young LeBron James. It's different. Only way to effectively compare me with a younger person is what I was at that same age, okay? Now, I just had to say that. I had to bring that out. All right, it's two different things, two different vibes and shit. You shouldn't be doing some shit like that. All right. So anyway, I'll get back with you. Peace.